Big check 1 2 1 2. How you guys doing, everybody? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today is probably going to be more of a audio kind of day. I mean, you can watch if you would like to, but it is a podcast after all. I've kind of gotten away from kind of what my original thought process of what the podcast would be. We ended up having guests on, and the podcast would go on for so much more longer than I expected. Today is going to be a bit of me getting back to the basics. This is something that I want people to be able to find on YouTube. Obviously, I do take it seriously, but it's not something that I put all my time and effort into. There's a lot of other things going on in my life, but if people can find this on YouTube and I engage with somebody in real life and they're able to come to my podcast and actually see something in themselves and learn something about themselves, and that's all I really want in life, at least from this. So today I'm actually going to bring attention to the topic of peace and inner peace, as well as happiness. I've kind of, if anyone has me on social media, I've brought attention to this about happiness and how a lot of people will strive for happiness. But in actuality, no one should strive to be happy. People should strive to be at peace. Now, let me explain more of what I'm talking about, because of course people want to be happy. Everybody should strive to do things that bring them joy. But now what I mean to say that you shouldn't strive so much for happiness, but strive for peace. I've said this before, we are very emotional beings. And at certain times we have so much emotion that, we can't even put them into words. And everyone has points in time where they're at a peak of happiness, or they're at a peak of sadness, or, a peak of confusion, or, distress, whatever the case may be. No one emotion is constant. We go through different emotional changes throughout our days, even from 1 minute to the next. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can attest to that because it happens all the time on a daily basis. So I ask you not so much to strive for happiness, but to strive for peace. And the difference being that inner peace can be a consistent state as to where happiness cannot and can change. So no matter how I'm feeling that day, I can alter my emotion based on the peace and self-recognition of that peace that I'm able to come to. For a better example of that is, let's say, and this actually is something that I've been going through a lot as of, my recent life and how I've been living. And the more I practice stoicism and my own philosophy and creating my own personal philosophy, when, let's say, I'm going into work and I really don't want to go into work today. I'm like, man, this stinks. Like, I really wish I didn't have to get up and go to work. I'm able to, kind of recollect myself, find that inner peace, and kind of change my outlook on it because I'm at a good place with myself and who I am. A better example of that would probably be if, let's say there was a passing of a family member or something that brought about a lot of distress. It's hard to cope with that, and that's, a lot of raging emotion that goes along with something of that caliber. So being able to find that peace within yourself, you're able to be at peace with certain situations as well. And bringing up death is always a hard topic. And I'm actually just started reading more about that in Stoicism. But we as people shouldn't be afraid of death. We should actually accept it as part of our life cycle. Whether you think about it now or think about it 30 years, 40 years, 50 years into the future, it's something that we all have to come to terms with and will be faced with at some point in our lives. So if you're able to bring peace with that, you're able to go about your daily activities. You're able to go into a certain situation less fearful of death, and because it's going to come. Or like I was saying, if you're dealing with the death of a family member, you're able to become at peace with that situation, being like, okay, this is something that is natural. This is something that was supposed to happen at some point in time. So the whole reason why I'm bringing attention to this, to inner peace, is because I feel like there's a lot of times where us as people, we have so many different things going on, and so many different aspects of life pulling us in so many different directions, that we kind of lose ourselves and are confused even at, or confused or conflicted at what's going on in our lives. And we don't really have a centerpiece to bring us back to it, and we're always at a weird place. And this has happened to me on multiple occasions, where I'm angry, but I'm also sad, but I'm also upset with myself because maybe I could have changed the outcome of that situation. So for me to be able to sit down, me personally, I enjoy to meditate. I would recommend meditation. There's a bunch of scientific research that's been done on meditation, the positive effects that it can have on you physically as well as mentally. But I like to sit down and meditate and bring myself back to a singular point to clear my mind and become more at peace with myself. And I've honestly been able to become more peaceful and know who I am, what I want to do with things, and kind of figure out who I am as a person. And that's made myself more able to take in those emotions, evaluate those emotions, and project them in a way that's healthy and that can help my personal growth, as well as doesn't interrupt anything I'm doing in any certain situation. When I say interrupt, I mean like I work at a physical therapy clinic. I can't bring that baggage into the workplace with me. I have to leave that at the door so that way I can have a productive and happy day with these patients. And that's something that we are all gonna have to come to terms with at some point, because you can't go into work every day. You got something really laying heavy on your mind. You can't go into work every day or go into your relationship, or whether that be a friendship or with a partner. You can't go into that situation either and bring that baggage with you. You're going to have to come to terms with your own demons and things that you have to face internally, and finding that peace will help that, So I guess the overall question is, okay, Mick, granted, peace sounds cool, I guess it'll make me a happier person, but I just don't know how to, come about it. I don't know how to find that peace. And, that's something that everyone is going to have to find on their own. That's something that's different for each and every person. There are certain coping mechanisms that one person can use to help you find that peace. For me, some things, I have found many ways to find peace. The biggest way that's helped me so far as of recent months has been reading and becoming more involved in my philosophy and the things about my outlook on life and how I want to live my life. That's brought me a lot of peace. That's answered a lot of questions for me. When it comes to minor things such as, all right, maybe something happened throughout my day. One, I have to remind myself that I can't control it. The only thing I can control is my outlook and behavior about the situation. Two, there's other coping mechanisms that I go to. So for one, I enjoy to write. I will write down my emotions, write down my thought process through the situation, which is always extremely helpful for me. But, maybe trying to distract yourself, trying to get your mind off of it to actually come back to it and actually evaluate why you were feeling the way you were feeling. A great way for me as well, like I mentioned earlier, is meditation. Meditation, you're able to sit down, calm your mind, focus on your breath, focus on your breathing, and kind of distract yourself from that certain situation so you can come back and evaluate, how you were feeling, why you were feeling this way, and further progress yourself. Everything is about personal progression. And finding that inner peace is so important to that. And I honestly believe that without finding that inner peace, you can still progress personally, but it will be a heck of a lot harder. You'll have a heck of a lot more questions going throughout your path, So Okay. So something that you don't want to do, don't misinterpret happiness for peace, or don't misinterpret distracting yourself for peace. So when I say come about peace, I mean come about to a point where you are calm, you are about your own wits, can make logical decisions, and are able to uh, use your own practical wisdom for certain things in life. You know, now when I say maybe you should cook or clean or do something to distract yourself, that is not to get away from the problem, but to actually calm and clear your mind so that way you can better attack the problem. Peace comes in many different forms in different shapes, but if you're able to come about clearing and calming down yourself, then it can be cool. In conclusion of this podcast, I've actually had, a lot of opportunity myself to try to figure out what's going to make me peaceful and how to come about peace. And I wanted to challenge my audience to sit down and figure out how can I be okay with being me? How can I find that peace with myself, to be okay with all the emotions I feel, to be okay with who I am as a person, and being okay with who you are, not only physically, but mentally, is only going to push you forward and make you a better person, to make you the best person you can be. And that's the whole point of philosophy in my eyes, is to learn how to live well by your own terms, how to be able to work with yourself to attack the outside world. So take the time to not only get away from everything, but to try new hobbies, try small things, to clear your mind and to evaluate where you are in life, where you want to be in life, and understand that life is forever changing. So there are no set plans. Your plan has to be forever changing with life. And as our progression will go, you have to change with that as well. I did this podcast today without my book or anything. It's something I thought a lot about, but I knew I wanted to just kind of go off emotion and how I was feeling in the moment for this one, kind of bring it back to how it used to be, or how I originally kind of had the concept of this podcast to be. Weren't any guests today, as you can see. If you guys have any questions, comments, if you thought that, something really hit you, or that I was missing something, by all means, feel free to comment and let me know about it. If you have me on social media or my number or anything like that, talk to me about it. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And, at the end of the day, I love helping people. And if I can find some way to help you guys as a listener, then that would be that would be amazing. That would be the goal of everything that I try and attempt to do in life. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, whenever you're watching this, and enjoy your life. Try your best to enjoy your life. Enjoy peace. Love you guys. Make out.